stand-up. A man who needs no introduction. Therefore, we won't introduce him.
Hey, thanks. Thanks, guys. So congratulations to the Soros socialist PSYOP. Some pretty wild, crazy news over the course of the week. You had buildings burning up in the UK, just burning down, sort of a 9/11 caper on a smaller scale.
We begin with breaking news in London, a horrific fire burning in a 24-story apartment building. A BBC reporter on the scene just posted that the building has burned completely through, and there are fears the tower could collapse.
Of course, the local people who live there were complaining about possible sinister motives for that fire. Surprise, surprise. And just other weird stuff. You had like Eddie Izzard, this drag comedian, appearing on CBS this morning, trying to sell some book or something. He had Dennis Rodman, of all people, of all specimens. Rodman, over in North Korea, singing happy birthday to the president of North Korea.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
And that was a musical moment, I must say. Sort of reminiscent of Marilyn Monroe's birthday wishes to JFK, back in the day.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. President.
Did you get a good look at Rodman? He had the gray hair going, and the big old cap, of course. The really old guy trying to look like a 15-year-old. Then he had the huge shades, about 40 years out of style, which covered about half of his face, the top half of his head, darn near. And then, of course, the hideous piercings in his lips. My theory is that's how Americans will look, after the bomb hits. Then, of course, the shootings. The shooting in San Francisco, the UPS place.
Fire inside a package delivery building this afternoon, killing 3 workers and wounding 2 others. As officers closed in on the gunman, he shot and killed himself.
The shooting in Virginia.
was sort of a killing field. It was wide open with an AR-15. Then there's probably a burst of 50 to 60 shots.
Senator, why do you say it's an AR-15?
Then perhaps strangest of all, this weird play going on in New York, this so-called updated version of the Julius Caesar play, which depicts a President Trump look-alike, being stabbed to death. Of course, the stabbers are about 5 or 6, people of color.
President Donald Trump as he's assassinated on stage. Look as his character is stabbed to death. And there's no mistaking the Trump connection.
I think the name of the play is Orange Julius, something like that. Well, of course, it had been a look-alike of a Sotoro being stabbed to death by 5 or 6 Caucasians. New York would have burned like Los Angeles. And the other shooting in Virginia, let's just keep in mind that there's a building about a mile from the White House. It's a temple with no windows. It's the headquarters, or one of the headquarters for the Freemasons, who really run things. Let's be reminded that it was the Freemasons who starched JFK. Just to briefly review, JFK was shot by the driver of his limo, a fellow by the name of Greer, who was a Freemason and a Secret Service agent. And the place where JFK was shot was an outdoor Freemason temple. For those of you who may not be aware of that little fact. Another fact is all the close-up eyewitnesses of the shooting, I think, were all dead within a period of 12 months after the shooting? All just mysteriously dead? Give me the Las Vegas odds on that one. That each and every close witness of the JFK massacre, or assassination anyway, would all be dead within about a year of the event. Yeah. Well, the point being is that, so are these Freemasons, are these secret society folks, above allowing a few Republicans and their aides to get shot in a park so that they can advance their socialist agenda? No, they're not above it. And could this thing have been staged? Of course it could have been staged. Had that area been properly canvassed prior to the baseball practice, they would have known every square centimeter of that entire area, where every trash can was, where every shrub, where every tree trunk was, everything. All totally canvassed and figured out. And if anybody was staying in a little type of vehicle, they would have known about them too. They had that stuff all figured out. They probably would have already learned everything about them, and even searched the area. So this area was not properly canvassed, and an amateur could spot that fact. So yeah, it's entirely possible, ladies and gentlemen, they allow these few folks to get shot. No question about it, no problem. In order to advance their much, much larger agenda, which is, of course, the gun grab, the good old socialist gun grab, which they've used time and time again. Check your history. Check your socialist history, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Just don't forget the sequence of events is as follows. Take the guns. You have to stage a bunch of fake shootings. Real shootings to get there, to work on the public mass media psyche, in order to sell the idea of gun control and gun removal, then of course you do it. Because once socialists get rid of the weapons, the next thing it's much, much easier to do at that point is, of course, martial law to protect the people. Right after martial law, of course, the next step is to report to your nearest FEMA facility for processing and re-education. And of course, when you're standing there, in the cold, maybe on one meal a day, and tainted food at that, or maybe drugged food, you're not in much of a position to oppose things. At that point, you're just trying to exist and live from day to day. So hopefully Americans will wise up and see what's going on well before that point.